Hello, everyone. Long time no see, but most importantly, I'm back. So, I know that some folks have reached out and they've said, hey, you have a YouTube, you're not posting. Yes, 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 yes. Life became a little bit hectic. There were a lot of things happening. However, now I feel much more settled and stable, and I'm ready to be back to have discussions, have good chats, good conversations, and of course, share some updates. For example, what is this? What is this? Yes, you are correct. Landon did propose. And I know a lot of you are probably here for that story. And I promise, I will talk about the story, get into all the details. Of course, I will. Another update today, I am 2 years and 7 months sober. And I do want to talk about that. I want to talk about my sobriety journey. I want to talk about what it's looked like for me. And I will talk about my journey here and there. I've always felt a little bit hesitant and avoidant of the topic because it feels so raw and vulnerable. So I want to talk about it. However, I may be a little bit slow to divulge everything at once. So I will touch on my sobriety journey for sure going forward. Third, Haven is now 5 years old. She just completed pre K. Tassel moved over. She is going into kindergarten this fall. Oh, actually, that's like a week or two. I don't even know. So, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about school, the school system, how we have navigated that, how we're addressing issues that come up. We learned a lot for sure, especially with Haven going into the school for the first time. And I also want to talk about how we're still teaching Haven Sign Language. A lot of you already aware Haven is what they call a GODA, a grandchild of deaf adults. So that means Landon's parents are deaf, and it's really important for us to teach Haven Sign Language. Also, at home, me and Landon will sign to each other. If it's loud or there's hectic things going on, we'll just sign to each other. Or even if we're in between a glass window, we will sign so we can communicate. And obviously, Haven has seen that and she's picked up sign language really well. So, we want to talk about how we've taught Haven Sign Language and the benefits for that. And obviously, it's nice for us and for Haven's grandparents, so she has the ability to communicate with them. It's been a process. However, she's still picking it up, and we want to celebrate and recognize Haven's willingness. And the most important thing is she is learning something and it's sticking. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to share everything. I'm happy to be back. So let's get started. Okay, first, we got to talk about it, obviously. So, me and Landon, we first met back in 2018 and we dated. I got pregnant. Yep. So we were together and then COVID hit. And, to be honest, that really impacted our relationship. We went through a lot together during COVID, especially. It was really difficult for a lot of relationships and for a lot of families. Some people have even come up to us and mentioned that COVID really impacted their relationship, and they appreciated us for being open and sharing our experience with them. So we had to split for a bit. And Landon's mom actually signs it a really cute way where she shows that we grew together and then we came back as, grown pieces, right? And I think that it was a really good experience. And I think that we both needed to take some time for ourselves to focus on ourselves and then come back better. So we got back together. Everything has been really great. We have more honest conversations. And obviously, The both of us like to be out and socialize, and I think that COVID caused a lot of people to feel isolated, and a lot of relationships were impacted. Not to mention, Haven was 4 months old when COVID hit. So that was extremely tough. We had a newborn, and the world essentially closed. Our work changed, everything changed. So, anyway, we got back together. Everything has been so great. And then we started to have a conversation about marriage. What does it look like? And we started taking steps in that direction. So, I went on a work trip. I was all done my work trip, and okay, I'm not gonna lie. Landon did put in the calendar date night. It was a Saturday night. I looked at it and I said, date night. We don't, it's not like we plan a date night and we put it on the calendar. So I was like, okay, I don't know what that is. So I asked him, I said, hey, what's going on with the date night? And he said, yep, 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 we're going to have a date night. And then I was like, well, do you have a babysitter for Haven? You got that worked out? And he said, everything will work out perfectly. And I'm like, okay, everything's going to work out perfectly. Alrighty, I had to pause. You may have seen Haven's little shadow walking up. So, back to our regularly scheduled programming. So, anyways, I felt something, like I felt something in my gut. So, I got back from my work trip on Saturday. No, 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 sorry. I got back on Friday night. And then Saturday, he said, you got to be ready at 3 o'clock. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll be ready at 3. And at first he said, okay, we're going to go get some boba tea. And I was like, okay, we're going to go get some boba tea. Then I'm going to wear, my biker shorts, my chill clothes. And then he's like, well, I mean, maybe do you want to wear something nice? And I'm like, because I don't usually dress up super nice. I'm a pretty casual person, casual dresser. Obviously, he had noticed that it wasn't going as he had planned. So then he came up to me and he's like, well, actually, I booked a photo shoot. My best friend is a professional photographer. So he's like, oh, I booked a photo shoot with your best friend. So come on. And at that point, I put it all together. I knew. But I didn't say anything. I didn't say I knew what he was planning. I didn't say anything. I didn't want to ruin it for him, and he thought he was going to surprise me, and I wanted him to feel good about that. I'm not going to tell him that I knew this whole time. So I didn't say anything. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll dress nice. We went to my best friend, her parents' house. They have sunflowers just blossoming everywhere. So beautiful. And I'm going to show some pictures. Oh my God, so cute. We love it. So cute. I love them so much. Anyways, so we got some photos taken, and then we were facing away from each other. And then we turned to each other. He got down on a knee and he proposed, and I looked. And I already know that he's going to tell this part, so I'm just going to confess and immediately admit it first. So he said, "Will you marry me?" And okay, I did. I did say, "Where's your speech?" And before you're like, "Oh my God, Tabitha, you're so mean. You're not nice." I know. I know. However, if you're on TikTok or you even watch any movies and you see a proposal, you see this elaborate speech. So that was my first, I was like, what? Where's your speech? I know it's horrible. It's awful. I know. I know. So he was like, well, and I was like, well, yeah, yes. I say yes, yes, of course. And then he said, well, I love you forever. Will you love me forever? Will you marry me? And I was cracking up. And of course I said yes, all that, da da da. And then I faked that I was also going to propose and I had a ring, but I just wanted to pretend. Obviously, I didn't, but I thought that would be funny. Anyway, so we had a really beautiful photo shoot. And when we've talked about proposal, I've always mentioned that I would love to, have family and friends, a gathering, a celebrating with everyone after the proposal. So, after the photo shoot, he said, we're going to go to a restaurant. And in the back of my brain, right, I'm thinking like, okay, family and friends will be there. Surprise, hee hee. So we get in the car and we start driving, and I look at my phone, and I'm getting all these notifications from ADT, like the security system that we have set up in our house. And I'm getting all these notifications, and it says front door was left open. And I'm like, well, why is the front door left open? It's been left open for an hour. And he's like, what, huh, no, what? That's weird. That's weird. So I'm like, okay, obviously people are going to be at our house. And then he's like, no, 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 I don't know, I don't know. And then we start driving up to our house, and I see his mom's car. I think his brother's car just right on the street up to our house. And I'm like, that's your family's car. He's like, no, 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 no. And tries to drive all fast past it. But very cute, right? So we go into the house, and oh, I did tear up. I did, because I saw my best friends, my family, my people, everyone there. And it was such a beautiful moment. And yes, Chipotle did cater it. I love Chipotle. Everything was just so beautiful. We had games that we played, and that was totally unexpected. And it was just such a good job, and everyone was there to celebrate us. It was beautiful. So that is how everything happened. It was so cute. I'm so happy. And before you ask, oh, what's the wedding plan? La la la, chill out. Chill, pause. Nothing yet. Also, I think that both of us are not traditional. Like, I'm gonna walk down, dun, 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 dun. That's not really me. So I don't know. We're still thinking about it. I know we want to have like a big party of dancing and everyone having fun and all that stuff. That's more so our style, doing something like that. All right. And second, I am sober. I don't want this video to go on forever, but I do want to talk about my sobriety journey and what that's looked like. But I'm really happy to still be sober, and even though my journey was tough, and it is a tough story, and I've been through a lot of challenges. This isn't the first time that I've tried to get sober. So I do feel lucky to be alive and to be here. So I'm just really happy. And third, Haven is 5 years old. 5 years old. She's all done pre-K. She's going into kindergarten. And she is definitely starting to spell. I mean, she knows the ABCs, right? She knows it in spoken English and sign language. However, we're still piecing together, the letters and the words, and how we combine those and how it becomes a word. We're trying our best to, kind of figure it out. And I think often a lot of teachers are, I don't know, I don't want to say teachers, but I think that there's a lot of responsibility on the parents to essentially teach the kids. And I'm just trying to figure out the best way for us to do that at home and supplement the learning. So I just want to say, if you're a parent and you're feeling some type of way about it all, you're not alone. There are some kids that are 5 years old and they're reading, and Haven's not. So, and I would like to say Haven's a pretty intelligent kid. So don't judge yourself. I think be easy on yourself. All of us are really doing our best, especially with everything happening in the world right now. So be nice to yourself, please. All right. I'm so happy to be here again and excited to share these things with you all. And I'm looking forward to making more videos and posting more and being more active on here to share longer stories and content with all of you. Take care of yourself, be nice to other people, and have a great day, night, morning, wherever you are. Much love.